Hey, welcome to part of my story where I talk about moving to another country, the challenges that you will face, especially if you have a family and you have to work full time, you don't have a support system, you don't know anyone, there's nothing familiar, everything is completely new. That even if you watch videos, because we now have the internet age, you can do your research before you relocate to another country. You can decide to get as much information as possible. But when I first relocated to the United Kingdom, I didn't have that amount of time to be doing research. All I knew was if there's a job there, my entrepreneur mindset, I'm going to go there. I wanted to go to the United States, but the job offer in the United Kingdom came first, and I was like, I'm ready to go. Because at that point, as I said in my previous video, if you haven't watched it, please go and check it somewhere here. Go and check it out, how I started talking about it and the navigation, my a bit of my background story, and what I decided to do about it. So I let me just say right here, I did not relocate to the United Kingdom because I was struggling financially. This needs to be said. I did not relocate to the United Kingdom because I was struggling financially. The real reason was my own personal journey. I was earning more income before I relocated to the United Kingdom because at that point I was working in my second country in South Africa, really nice hospitals. It was amazing, great experience. But due to a turn of events, things that I observed, and just thinking about my future, where I wanted to go, and my family, thinking about where I want to raise my children, I made a different decision. And I'm not saying the whole world is perfect. There are problems in every country in the world. The important thing is where you start and what your plan is and what your goals are. Where in the world are you most likely to achieve your goals? Ooh, think about it. Where in the world are you most likely to achieve your goals? And what plan can you put in place to get there? So let's say, for example, you are in a country that you're not happy. It doesn't look like that's where you want to spend the rest of your life, right? What you can do is start preparing for high demand careers in the country of choice that you choose. Yes. And I'm talking to somebody who may have nothing, you have no idea where to start, you don't have any money, you don't have any support, you don't have any rich relatives. Where do you start? Empower yourself. You are rich yourself as you are. This needs to be said. All of us are wealthy and rich. The challenge is what we do with the ideas that we have, what we do with the opportunities that we have. That's the challenge. So, anyway, going back to my story, as I looked at where I was in my life and thinking of relocating, working in another hospital, what was inspirational to me was that I got this like an epiphany. It was a divine moment. It was, some people call it a moment where you start to manifest your dreams. I like to say I was willing to take action to make what I wanted to happen. I was willing to take action, the necessary action. So one of the things that I had to do was to start checking, where do I want to work? Do I want to work in the United States, in Canada, or United Kingdom? And as I looked at that, I felt the process would take longer. I didn't have time. I didn't want to waste any time. So I decided I'm going to go for the United Kingdom. And because at the time as well, as I said in my last video, a friend said to me, a work colleague I was talking to, their interviews, the United Kingdom is hiring nurses. Do you want to go? Because prior to that, by the way, there was another nurse I was working with, another senior nurse. She had managed to get a registered nurse position in UAE, United Arab Emirates. So she got that job, and I tried it, and I didn't get it, and I'm glad now I didn't get it. It wasn't the right one for me. So she went off, and I kind of put that aside and forgot about it. But when the opportunity came again, when I was working in South Africa to go to the United Kingdom, I took it straight away. Now here is what is interesting. Although I had got the job offer, it still took a bit of time for all the paperwork to be sorted back and forth, getting my part done, getting ready, booking flights, all this. And I'm going to say something really important about that. It is important, I learned on my own journey, to number one, evaluate where your life is. Be really honest with yourself. Don't live in this fear of making a decision. Be honest with yourself where you're at. Are you happy with your life where it's going? Is there room for you to grow? Do you have opportunities for you to improve your skill set? Do you have opportunities to take on more responsibility, more senior roles? And I know not everybody wants that, but think about it. Just consider it. Because nobody wants to stay in the same place. We are created to grow, to keep developing. We are not as human beings. We don't like doing the same thing. At some point, you want to take on another challenge. That's what growth is. So, having taken that job, it took about 2 years before I finally relocated and came here. What I wanted to say on that part is make a decision now. Make a decision. If you're not happy with where your life is at, what do you really want? And this is important. What do you really want? Because when you know what you don't want, it's easy to know what you want, right? So if you can eliminate the problems that you don't need anymore, it becomes easier to make a decision about what you really want and then start taking steps towards making that happen. That is how all dreams happen. That is how all reality happens. You have to decide what reality you want to live in. So it was so interesting because when I arrived at Heathrow Airport, it felt like I'd been there before because I'd been thinking about it. I'd been dreaming about it. I was looking forward to it. I kept feeding my heart, my mind, thinking about, oh, it would be really nice working in the United Kingdom. Oh, it would be really nice, you know. And of course, like I said in the last video, I did get the shock of my life later on because it was like the cost of living is quite high. And here I have a family, I have to support a family. How am I going to make this happen? Now, initially, I was, yes, in that mode, negative mode, just like, oh, how's this, you know? And I knew I don't want to go back. There was no way on earth I would go back. Because that's one thing I learned about myself. When I make a decision to go forward, you can't pull me backwards. And you have to understand yourself and realize if you're the kind of person who is indecisive, people will take advantage of you. You know, you will work with the wrong companies. You'll be working hard for minimum wage. You'll be struggling. You have to decide what you want. So there is a part of that where you have to believe in yourself. And that's confidence building. So anyhow, when I realized, okay, I can't make this happen, I knew I didn't have the support system that I needed. I didn't have any rich relatives and all that. I knew it was up to me. And that was a scary thought, I must admit. It took a bit of growing up. Even if I was a parent, because just because you are a parent doesn't mean you've grown up. You still have to learn some things and learn how to navigate. And so you have to be really honest with yourself, right? Like, is this working for me? If it's not working, what can I do? So I started thinking about starting a recruitment company, hiring other nurses from different parts of the world. But at the time, there was so much red tape I felt, and I didn't have the expenses, you know, the money that I needed to put it all together to show CQC that I have the backing to get this off the ground. That was then. Yes, I know different now. Mind you, some things haven't changed. So I thought, oh, well, that's out. So in the meantime, I kept going and started doing agency work. That was really exciting because I started making more money. So it felt good, like I can see my way out. And I'm going to pause here and say, when it feels like you can't see your way out, do not give up too soon. When you feel like you can't get out of your financial challenges, do not give up too soon. There is an opportunity waiting for you. The important thing is you have to be willing to keep asking. You have to keep willing to ask and check, is this the opportunity for me? Because even right now, those of us in the diaspora, sometimes you may feel like you are trapped in the job that you have and you have to settle for the income that you have. But let's think about it this way, because I remember deciding I want my children to have more things that I didn't even have when I was growing up. I want my children to enjoy more of life, to experience more of life. I want them to get exposed to more than I was ever exposed to. So when your life is bigger than you, oh, you can survive anything. You can survive anything. I had relationship challenges, you know, got to get to know some people. It was weird. There are people who see you like fresh out of high school or something mindset, and they want to give you all their negativity, their poor choices living in the diaspora, and they want to impose that on you as well. Yes, there are people who have relocated to another country, have made some really bad decisions. But instead of owning those mistakes and responsibility, they want to be telling everybody else, oh, it's really hard in this country. Oh, it's really hard in that country. Yes, it is not like where you left. It is a challenge to change your mindset, right? You can't carry the same behavior you had. You can't carry the same attitude in a different culture, right? There are people who are really well qualified, but they are scared of interacting with people of a different mindset, of a different culture, or people who don't have the challenges they have. Because listen to this, it is really entitlement to think people should just accept whatever. You see, when you come around people with a different background, mind you, let me also say this. Even here in the West, there are people who have the same challenges like you have. A lot of people. A lot of people are struggling financially in the same country where they were born. It's the truth. We know this. So the human experience is the same everywhere in the world. But to have this, oh, I'm an immigrant, everything is going to be easy. No, it will not be easy. So let me quickly speak to the children. If your parents are immigrants and you feel like you don't spend quality time with them, I want you to be a bit more understanding and realize your parents are trying to navigate the challenges of living in another country. Yes, though they are your parents, they're also a human being who's trying to navigate the difficulties, and you have no idea how they're trying to cope. So, one of the best things you can do, especially now with the internet age, with ChatGPT, with AI, is start a little part time business. Yes, there are so many young people now who are building businesses online and they are paying off their parents' homes. And I know you may not have the greatest relationship with your parents right now, but you can help your family for things to be better. Instead of just dismissing them and walking away and having tantrums, think about your family as your most precious asset in life. And I know not everybody sees it like that. And I'm speaking to young people, children of parents who are immigrants. Find a way to support your parents. Do not be too hard on them. You have no idea how hard it is for them. And they're trying to be everything that you need them to be. Sometimes this can lead to mental health issues where your parents may even have a breakdown. Now they can't even function. Now you have to be sent off to an orphanage or to a foster home because your parents cannot cope. So, what you can do, this is what I highly recommend, as I'm speaking to you now, is find somebody that you can speak to. Maybe it's at a local church or search online therapy, yes? And ask your family, we need to get some help. They may be angry with you, parents may feel like they have all the answers, but they don't. The challenges they are facing are completely new to them, and I know they may try to act like they've got it together, but it's really tough. So it may mean getting therapy. Do not be too proud to get external help from somebody who has been paid to understand those challenges and they've studied those challenges, right? It will be such a big thing. It will be such a helpful thing. Another thing you can do is if you are a part of a local church, look for people who've been in the country for longer. And not everybody has a positive mindset, but some people, look at people who have a positive mindset. That's really what I want to say. People who, no matter what challenges, they've got this mindset, we're going to figure this out. We don't know how, but we're going to figure this out. So as a child, online, you can start searching how to start a business part-time. When you leave school, you have some playtime then, some study time. All you need is just an hour to work on your online business. Yes? And as a young person, there are some things you're going to pick up really quickly. Let me give you some ideas because I also work as a coach and I also have a digital marketing company helping businesses to generate more leads so that they can make more money. So as a young person, you can learn how to start an AI agency that helps big businesses get more customers so they can make more money. That's it. That's it. So what you can do is go on YouTube now and search how to generate leads for big businesses. You will have several companies, several content creators. What I want to say is don't just follow one person, find two or three or four and try and get different perspectives because every person is different. You may follow one person and that person, maybe their perspective is a bit off. Because I've been online for a while. I've been in the online space for a while. Okay? And if you want some recommendations, comment below Coach Meg recommendations. Yes, and I'll give you some guidance who you need to start learning from. And of course, if you are ready, I can also teach you how to start designing websites using templates. You can sell these websites to other people and other companies. So instead of just wasting time on social media, just scrolling, there's nothing wrong with that. Use some of the time, especially if you're whew, over 15. If you're over 15, help your parents, support them financially by doing this. And I know, especially in the African culture, it may seem strange and weird, but we are living in times where the cost of living is high and all hands on deck. Everybody can contribute. Everybody can contribute. Another way is, if you're not into business, is what can you sell? Can you take photos, amazing quality photos, images that you can sell online? That doesn't take a lot. You can just go to your city, start taking some images, preferably with friends. Don't go by yourself. Always make sure you're safe. Yes. Always look after yourself. Because you see, when you start getting involved in being productive, supporting your own family, because your parents are already doing that, they're paying the rent as much as they can, they're doing what they can. You can also say, you know what, we don't need to eat 3 big meals. Let's have one big meal. Let's all sit down together. You can introduce this idea to your parents, and they'll be amazed, like, wow. You can tell them, show them that you care, that you want to make things better. You can say, you know what, mom and dad, it's really tough. I'm thinking of some ideas, and it may be challenging, but let's go on some more holidays. So let's make some plans, right? Where you can cut back on some unnecessary expenses, where you decide, you know what, I may not have what all the other kids have. Oh, this is big. Let me talk about this. This pressure and bullying, like to fit in with everybody else. Do not worry if you see the rich kids look like they can afford everything. They can manage all the games, all the clothes, all the shoes. Don't worry about it. Young people, listen to me. There will come a time when you can afford more than they can, because some of them don't know how to even run a business. Some of them are going to be struggling financially later on because they have not been willing to learn how money works. And you may struggle now, but if you're willing to take my advice, young people, listen to me. Young people, immigrant parents, or even non-immigrant parents, you're local, you in the UK, United Kingdom, US, Canada, Australia, Africa, wherever you're watching. Just learn some skills now that will help you to support your parents now, and later on, you're going to be making so much money, you're going to be wonder, why was I even bothered? This is temporary. It will not always be like that. Number one, learn how to stand up for yourself. If any kids are harassing you, causing you problems, speak to an adult. Speak to some adults and say, I'm concerned about this. And let your parents know, this is not good, and I know you may not know what to do, but I'm not happy at school. Can we change schools if that's what it takes? I'm not happy, but do not let your parents not know the challenges you're facing, because your parents are working so hard, they may not even have time to ask you, how are you coping? So I want you to be proactive about your life, because this is leadership skills, yes? And I know you didn't ask for this. I know you didn't plan to come and live in a strange country and you don't know how to fit in. I know you didn't ask for it, but this is an opportunity for you to make something amazing out of these unexpected circumstances, yes? So learn, decide, I'm going to stand up for myself. Don't let anybody bully you, harass you, and all this. Don't accept that. Report it, let people know this is unacceptable, it's not right, and let your parents know. Okay? Do not suffer alone in silence. Then I want you to start being creative. Start drawing or writing or whatever you can after you've had your playtime. Playtime is good. Yes, playtime is good. And can I say something important here? When you are in class and you are learning, think of it as preparing for an exciting future. So enjoy every class. I know sometimes they may be boring and you may not like it because the teacher is boring or the way they present. But pay attention to what you enjoy. Pay attention to what you enjoy the most, the classes, the lessons. Then when you get home, go start exploring a bit more. Why do I like this so much? Because who knows, you may be the next Einstein. You may be so creative, you may create solutions in the marketplace. Some of you admire the guy who bought Twitter. What's his name? What's his name? How has his name gone? Elon Musk. How can I forget Elon Musk? He's an entrepreneur. You know, he had a lot of challenges. Do you know his story? This is going to inspire many of you. Do not think all people of my skin color struggle more than others. No. Every cultural group, every racial background has challenges. Do not feel people are doing this to you because you are of this. It is their own insecurities. Don't worry about it. Every culture has people who struggle. And I know you didn't ask for it. That is why I'm speaking to you. How to speak up for yourself, how to stand up for yourself, and not to let people get away with it, and how to report this to your parents and to the teachers, and let everybody know. Do not be silent about it. Being an immigrant doesn't mean you are a victim or you don't have rights here. If you are legally here, your parents are legally here, you have a right to be here. Your parents are contributing to the economy. Your parents are contributing to the taxes. Your parents are contributing to the running of this country, whichever country you're in. You need to understand that and stand very confidently on that. You are not a victim. If your parents are legally here, they are contributing to the economy and they have been legally hired. Yes, everything has gone through the right process. So you don't need to put your head down. You don't need to walk around feeling ashamed. Make the most of this opportunity. Okay? All right. So Elon Musk struggled. There's a story online. His mom really struggled. The dad was really weird. And so Elon Musk struggled with that. And the mom had to work really hard. What I'm trying to say is whatever challenges your parents are facing now, be a part of the solution. Don't make life harder for your parents. Yes? Because it's already hard for them to adapt to another country. It is really hard. If you've never heard anyone say this to you, please understand this. Okay? And if you need any more help and you have some questions and you want to ask, you want to believe in yourself a bit more, Gary V, I know sometimes he swears he's very good at inspiring young entrepreneurs. You can find him on Instagram, you can find him on Facebook, you can find him on TikTok, you can ask him questions directly. And if he's in a town near you, please go to one of his events and make the most of the opportunity and speak to him. He's very inspiring. Listen, just because you have a different skin color doesn't mean you don't have the right to ask questions. You have the right to ask questions, to grow, to become better, and to enjoy your best life ever. But start now, okay? And you have all gone back to school now, so pay attention to what subjects you enjoy the most and make the most of that. If it means getting extra classes, do that. But more importantly, if you can help your parents financially by starting selling online, maybe you can create a website and you start helping other businesses with websites. They will pay you really good money. Before you know it, your parents may not have to continue struggling because you can become the first multi-millionaire. And then your parents don't have to struggle anymore. Yes? Because even your parents, I know they're parents, but they also want to feel loved. They also want to feel accepted. So don't make it hard for them and just decide, oh, I don't like my parents, I'm embarrassed of my cultural group, and then you join the wrong crowds. The wrong crowds will take advantage of you. They'll leave you on the side of the road and they'll walk away. They don't care. But your parents, as imperfect as they are, they really do love you. They may have their own challenges. They may not have had great role models themselves. They're figuring things out, but be kind to your parents. And life gets better for that. If you have any more questions, just comment below and say, Coach Meg, I need some more help and some support. I have paid coaching programs, but I also have free coaching classes where we'll be on a Zoom call and you can ask me, Coach Meg, how did you navigate? Because now let me close with that. How did I navigate all the different challenges? As I just continued surviving. We went through some really difficult challenges where it was really tough. But because I was always there for my children, they would remind me, Mom, it's going to be okay. Mom, we're going to be fine. Oh, Mom, how can we fix that? Oh, and it is by the grace of God, I need to also add that. I'm also a person of faith who believes that all things work together for good. This is what has sustained me. The Bible says everything we experience in life, it happens for a reason. If you are willing to receive the love of God, that God loves you, there's nothing that just happens in your life that is an accident. Everything is happening for a reason, and you don't have to accept any hopelessness or failure, right? You are not a failure. Mom and dad and children. Yes, I'm speaking to the families. None of you are failures. You can navigate this. You will figure things out. And if you need some support to shortcut the process, like this is what I'm good at, Coach Meg, but I'm not sure how to navigate the challenges, how to be more productive. I'm always tired, I'm feeling low, I'm feeling depressed, and I'm feeling homesick. You know, we can make it happen, yes, where we are. And just reach out. I'm going to put a link or on my profile. There's a link where you can get in touch with me and reach out to me, because this is what I learned. If you believe in yourself, that's it. That's it. You will make some mistakes, you may not get it right. I was selling on eBay and some of the products were late, so some customers and clients were complaining. I had to deal with that, right? And I remember I was really nervous doing that because I felt like I didn't have the right to be successful. I don't know why I got that thought from. Anyway, what has happened from those times and having walked away from nursing eventually, I had the courage to decide I'm going to figure things out. So one of the things I did is I started working in the community, making more money supporting elderly care clients. And that was amazing. And if, by the way, you're into home care, it's something you're interested in, you want to start your own agency, or you want to just start by yourself and have a small team, make it simple and complicated, reach out. I will discuss with you. My coaching, I have different price points, especially if you're business minded. I have different price points, and they reflect the value of what you will get for working with me, because I help you to stay accountable with your goals. I help you to stay on track so that you're not taking 10 years, but in 30 days, in 90 days, you now have part-time income where you can walk away from that horrible job you don't like, where you can walk away from people that are, they have a bias towards people of your skin tone. Some people are weird, it's strange, it is what it is. This is where you own and you create your own opportunities, yes? And that is what I'm really passionate about. Create your own opportunities. Don't wait for somebody else. If you really need the job, that's okay. But while you're waiting for the job, create your own opportunities. Right now, let me give you a free tip as I close. If you are willing to set up your social media accounts and update all your social media accounts, ooh, and if you understand what you're really good at, what you enjoy, it could be cooking, it could be knitting, it could be speaking, it could be, I don't know, drawing, it could be painting, it could be property, it could be driving, it could be travel. There are so many things that you enjoy and you are good at. It could be organizing events. I can help you with that. That's something that I really enjoy, and I'm helping other people to do the same. It is good fun for me, and it's a way for me to give back. It's a way for me to feel like I can help other families because I know what it's like when I struggled and I didn't know how to navigate. At the end of the day, it wasn't even about making a lot of money. It was about freedom of mind, peace of mind. Ooh, that is so precious to me. Peace of mind, working when I want, waking up when I choose, being able to be fully present when one of my family, my children are talking to me, not feeling like I have to rush and go on another shift, right? Because listen, we've heard a lot of sad stories, tragic stories in the news because of mental health issues. This is why I'm passionate about this. I don't take this lightly. This is part of my life work to bring healing to families in the diaspora. And that starts by self-empowerment, leading yourself, and to have the humility to be honest enough that I don't have it all figured out. This is what we need to do as parents, as adults, and to have the willingness to learn from younger people because they've been exposed. Somebody who knows better than you, what does age have to do with it? Age has nothing to do with it. They know how to make this work. That's it. Just go with it, right? We have to be careful of this false pride. Like, what's the pride for when you're struggling financially? Listen, I've said what I need to say, but I'll close with this. What is the cost? What is the long-term cost of you not making a different decision now on your family? What is the long-term cost on your mental health? What is the long-term cost on your physical health if you stay in a career that you're not happy with? If you are so stressed out, if you're always on high alert, if you're always wondering if people are talking about you, oh, are you going to be fired? If you're always wondering if you're going to keep this job, that level of stress is unnecessary. That is ridiculous. It is horrible to be in a job or working with clients who, if they don't like you, you won't have an income. I experienced that and I was like, that's it. And I was like, I'm making a different choice. This client was a little bit, they had dementia issues, of course, and all that, but I could tell there are people who are manipulative. They want you to do whatever they ask. They're toxic. You don't have to settle for that. You don't have to accept that. You don't have to feel like a victim. Yes? That is where this making a decision, and make the decision quickly. Don't take it too long. Don't overthink it. All I will do If you want to know more about me, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm everywhere. You can find me. Yes, and I do live streams as well. And if you're interested in that, get in touch because I want to bring healing to as many families as possible. Yes, when you decide I want better for myself, you are going to be so proud of yourself that you made that decision. That yes, you had to maybe take lower income, but when you think it will be better for my entire family that they remember I was available for them. Yes, sometimes they may not remember. If they don't remember, you can remind them. Like, look, I made an effort, even if it was challenging for me. When we spend quality time with our family, it is important for them to understand that somebody else is listening to them because there may be nobody else listening to our children. This is actually psychological development. Be the role model that your children need. Being willing to listen to them articulate their thoughts. That is how they also become more intelligent. Yes, and before you know it, they'll be willing to go to Harvard, Oxford, all these top universities, or they can become innovators. They may become entrepreneurs because you are willing to pay them attention. Yes, you're willing to listen to, even if it doesn't make sense. You are showing them that you matter to me. That is why I'm listening to you right now. Because I know I said I'm going to close. I remember I noticed when I was doing nights, I was so stressed out sometimes when my kids want to talk to me. I'm just like, I've got to go to work. Or even when I started my business, I had to break this habit when I first started the first business. Like, I need to work, and I'm a bit stressed out because I'm like, and then after a while, I decided I need to change something because I could feel it that isn't right. So believe in who you are, the way God created you. With all the challenges you have faced, it's all for a reason. Nothing should be wasted. In fact, make a decision. With everything I've experienced so far, I must be willing to stay strong enough and trust the process enough to see the other side of the work that I'm willing to put in. Because you can decide today, even as you're watching, I'm going to start doing the work. I'm going to update all my social media accounts on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, all the channels. I know you hear different ideas. Take it from Coach Meg. Take it from Coach Meg. And when we do the coaching and the Zoom classes, I'll explain why. And I'm not saying you're going to put all the same amount of energy on all the different platforms. No. I'm going to talk about what you need to be doing to reach more people with the service and the product that you have. Even if it's not even your own product, I've got an exciting idea. Ooh, multiple income streams. Come on, diaspora parents. Come on, diaspora parents. Multiple income streams where you're not pulling your hair, you're just so stressed out. I discovered a better way and I've been working on this and I'm looking for some families that I can help that we can do this. It will be part of my, what do they call it? You know when you're testing out a new product? So you'll be part of that, like part of the founders, if you are willing to take action. We'll test it out. The access fee is really little because when it works out and I roll it out, it's going to be way more. A lot of people won't be able to afford it. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm using all the experience that I've had working online because even when I was working full-time nursing, I was always still checking different ideas online. I was doing live streaming before live streaming was popular. I was doing selfies before selfies were popular. Child. Anyhow, listen, if anything I've said resonates with you, you like, I need to know more, watch some of my other content. Some of it is just me having an interesting time building my YouTube channel. Some of it is entrepreneur minded, some of it is just positivity, but it's my lifestyle channel. And I encourage you to do the same. Set up all your social media accounts because it is going to pay off so good. You want by 2025, yes, this time next year, everything has changed because you decided to believe in yourself. And you decided, especially for those of you who are church people, I like to say lazy Christian. Lazy Christian guide to happiness and success or to social media. Just because you're a person of faith doesn't mean you have to settle for where your life is. You don't have to settle with the status quo, what everybody else is talking about. If you're one of those Christians, a person of faith, you're like, I want to get more out of life. I want to do well. I don't care if people don't like it. But you decide I'm an individual and there's some things I want to repair in my family. Let's talk. And here is my last sentence I'm going to say. Whatever you don't repair, you will repeat. Ooh. Whatever you're not willing to repair that has been happening in your family line, you are bound to repeat it. So get in touch with Coach Meg. Let's get on the journey. I'm excited for you. It will be good to see your transformation. You on the other side. Everything has changed. Your lifestyle, your children going on holiday with your family. I'm looking forward to see those stories, and feedback. I'm going to continue, of course, sharing different ideas on this channel. And let's do this. Let's be friends. Let's support each other. It's already tough living in the West. It's already tough living in the diaspora. But if you are business minded, you are progressive minded, you are one of those people that has got this mindset, I can figure things out. Let's be friends. We can be virtual friends. Who knows? We may end up as a part of the community. We go on holidays together. Who knows? Only God knows that. So, anyhow, if you are positive minded and you're willing to invest some time and some resources, yes, do not be intimidated by that. I have different price points, different packages. Just remember, this is you investing in your creativity, you investing in your ideal lifestyle. If it worked for me, it can work for you. Bye for now.